Okay, so I just wanted to give you guys a little comparison to my two vehicles. Also the tires, because as you can see, I'm in Vermont right now. It's snowing, but we're in this kind of weird transitional phase of hard packed, icy, slushy snow. And this is a comparison of how the four-wheel drive system works. Also on how the Nokian Hakkapelitta tires on the Audi here compared to my Nexen Winguard Windspike 3. Both tires are studded. On the Volvo, it's a 2019 XC90 T6R design with the Polestar tune and has the air suspension. The Audi is a 2013 Q7 with the Premium Plus package and a couple other little things as well. So it's not quite apples to apples, but in the sense that they are very similar vehicles, very close dimension wise, both 7 passengers, both have all-wheel drive, but that's where the similarities really end because the all-wheel drive system is completely different. On the Audi here, it is a full-time all-wheel drive system. It's biased rear, so it's like maybe like an 80-20, 60-40. Originally, it only goes 50-50 and so on back and forth as the wheels slip. So this is a proactive system, whereas here on the Volvo XC90, it is a reactive system because it's primarily a front-wheel drive vehicle that will send power to the back when it feels the front wheels slipping or even the back wheels. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys around between the two vehicles because I feel like if someone's shopping for vehicles like these would be two vehicles that they probably would consider. And then the next step we're going to go into is how the tires perform, because I will say the Nokian Hakkapelittas are definitely a lot better in icy, slushy, powdery conditions compared to my Nexen Winguards. The Nexen Winguards do a good job, and I've had them before. I had them on my 2015 and a half Volvo XC90. That was a T6 Platinum Polestar tune as well. And I feel like on that vehicle, because it was a different halodeck system, which was what Volvo uses halodecks, maybe it was a little better. Or it's the fact too that these tires are also a lot bigger than they were on the XC90. So let me go ahead and show you guys around and show you the differences. All right, so as you guys can see, very similar vehicles, and even in the way they look, the headlight system is very similar. Fog lamps down in the bottom here, both are LEDs. On the Audi, this is a HID headlamp, and on the Volvo, it's a full LED matrix system. Well, it's not matrix, but it is an LED system, and they are bending because I forgot technically the matrix system is a little different, but anyways. Both have parking sensors all around. The Volvo has a little more parking sensors, I feel like, and it also has the front camera because this is a fully loaded R design compared to the Audi here, which is like a mid-tier, because you could get this vehicle with the air suspension and the full 360 camera system as well. They both have the auto park assist, so if you're trying to parallel park, they will park themselves surprisingly. And then as far as ground clearance, you can't compare the ground clearance right now because the Volvo is parked in easy mode, which means it lowers all the way down to the bottom of the suspension to get in and out. The Audi is just a set suspension, but again, like I said, you can get the Audi with an air suspension. Another big difference on this car is it has the V6 supercharge, whereas this car is a 4-cylinder that is supercharged and turbocharged. However, this car produces more power. One, it's Polestar, so that alone gives it like an extra 20% power, which it's producing about 340-ish horsepower. And the Audi is around close to 300, I would say. So I do notice a difference in the get up and go between these two vehicles. But other than that, they are very similar in the way they accelerate and handle. Now, I will say, because this is the air suspension, it's a little more floaty compared to the Audi. The Audi, you can definitely tell, is designed for top-end high speed, like on the Autobahn. Even when I put this in the Polestar, which kind of lowers the suspension, makes it a little tauter, the steering a little tauter, It's still a little floaty compared to the Audi, but other than that, they're pretty similar as far as that goes. As you can see, they both are about the same length. And then as far as the tailgate system, very similar. The biggest difference is the rake, if you ask me. So I feel like the rake on the Audi is a little more compared to the Volvo, even though it looks like to me the Volvo would be more. But if this is true 90 right here, you can kind of see how the Audi really pulls away from my hand. So there's that. So this is, like I said, a fully loaded Volvo XC90. It's a 2019. So let me go ahead and zoom out for you guys if I can. There we go. Ultra wide angle. I just wanted to show you guys one thing real fast. So this has the kick to open. And one thing people always have a problem about the kick to open is where to kick. It's always going to be like right here is where the sensor is. Although I think there's one on this side, because sometimes I notice it kicks on this side. But anyway, so this, like I said, has the air suspension, so I can lower it and raise it. And then it also has a true Volvo hitch. So you push this little button right here, and within a few seconds, hopefully, there it comes. You pull it out, and there you go. It has a 7-pin way harness, which is ready to go for the American roads. This is a 2-inch receiver, so we'll take most of your standard receivers, or hitches, I guess they're called. So press the button again, and it goes away eventually. You just push it out of the way like that, and it locks into place. Really neat. As you can see, I have a bunch of crap in here. I am about to do a transmission fluid exchange. Regardless of what manufacturer says, no fluid is truly lifetime. So as you can see, I'm about to do a transmission fluid exchange. Underfloor storage, which is being used right now. Again, this is a 7-row, but I can see I have my dog system right now, which I have the skis going through right now because I haven't got my ski rack yet. But there is cup holders back here, little storages on both sides, own vents, stuff like that. Let's see if I can pull this out. There we go. Hands are getting cold. So grocery bag holders. Your battery, for 12-volt batteries under here. There is another battery up in the front. Excuse me, in the engine bay. That is for the auto start. I may be able to. I may have parked too close to this. Back here, let me grab the right key so I can show you guys this. Let's see. Here it is. Let's see if it hits or not. Hopefully, it doesn't. It hit. So, all right, well, a little too close, but you can see at least it did stop. So we're gonna walk under here like that. So again, like I said, this is also a 7-row. You can see cup holders. However, because of the way this is raked, like I said, I feel like the headroom's a little less in here. So there's that. But seats do fold down completely flat, along with the extra seats here. So I'm going to close this before I do any damage to this poor car. So that's that. So now, as I said, I did want to talk to you guys about the tires on the vehicles. Again, both tires are different tires and obviously different vehicles, but I feel like at the end of the day, they're both a winter tire. Both are studded. The performance between the Audi here compared to the Volvo in very slippery, wet conditions, or even just standard winter conditions. Again, I don't know if it has more to do with the Quattro and the fact that these are really high-end winter tires. Oh, T-Rex is going after a deer. But anyway, sorry about that, guys. But I do feel like a winter tire is a winter tire, especially when they're studded. There should be enough similarities between the two tires that you shouldn't notice that much of a difference. So like I said, I'm gonna give the edge on the Audi because of the Quattro system. But tires are the same size. Cars' weights are the same size. Power and stuff like that is very similar. So just the handling, I noticed, is a little better in this kind of condition. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys these tires real fast. So as you can see, These are the Nokian Hakkapelittas, pre-studded right from the factory. And I guess, you know, one thing I noticed right away is that these have more studs, and then the siping on the side here is a little different. But again, as you can see, the Nexen Winguards, which are also studded, just, I don't know, like I said, for some reason there's a difference. I will show you guys this in acceleration and braking, you know. And then I guess the other thing too, these are actually, I feel like these might be bigger brakes than the Volvo. Maybe that's an issue right there. So you guys tell me, does that brake look a lot bigger than the one on the Volvo? It has a lot more freaking rust on it. Jeez, for one day. But anyways, so yeah, let's say, so the difference between these two vehicles is quite significant. So I'm kind of surprised about that. One thing on the Audi, you do have to watch out for with these models is the timing chain system, which is actually in the back of the motor, and the tensioners eventually go bad. So I'm gonna go ahead and start it up and we'll see if we hear the clacking. One thing I did do for both vehicles is I switched them over to Valvoline Restore and Protect. So that might be something I noticed that has stopped it from making the noise a little bit. So I'm gonna start up here for you guys. So I don't know if you guys were able to hear it on camera, that little quick like rattle-ish, like that kind of thing. That is the timing change. Just getting like not starvation of oil. Granted, the vehicle is kind of sloping away, but it should have the full 9 quarts in the car still. Since I changed to Restore and Protect, I haven't had an issue with burning oil, whereas before I was burning about a quart every 500,000 miles. So that's, you know, that. But I wanted to show you guys just the how the front of the car looks with its lights on. Do a little walk around for you guys. Again, I wanted to show you the ground clearance right now. So this is quite a huge ground clearance for a vehicle like this. I think the stereo oons is on. Alright, turn that off. So, but alright, so let me go ahead and, so one thing I will say I really enjoy about the Audi here is this system right here. This actually works really well. I'm surprised they went away from this and went to touchscreen. This was your like jog wheel and stuff like that. You had your different buttons for different controls. So right now it's navigation, have information, telephone, menu, your card, your like, you know, tones, which is your equalizer, your media source, and then your radio for like satellite radio, AM, FM. And then up here you have regular controls for your climate. And here you have your SIM card, your SD, and your CD player. Now granted, this car was built prior to 4G LTE technology, so that doesn't actually work anymore in this car. But there is your infotainment system, they can call it MMI. The newer models have the one that pops out of the dash here, and then the newest ones is a full screen system. But I actually prefer this. I even wouldn't mind the pop out, but I feel like the one that would pop out would be one more thing you gotta worry about to brake. So maybe it's a give or take thing. Nice, you know, dual cup holder system here, and then of course storage is there. Funny thing about both cars is that no active or no handle to grab on the glove box. It is a button here, and then it just slowly opens up nice and soft and damped. So anyways, there's that. I did put mud mats in for my Golf. Oh, cool thing, I think, maybe I'm stupid, but you know, a little side net, and then of course under seat storage. There's storage right there, but I can't get to it because I got the mats in the way. Sorry. Right here, under seat storage. Sorry about that, guys. And then there's something else here I just found. No, that's, I don't know. It is something. Who knows? Power seats, lumbar support. It does have the upgraded Bose sound system. So it's 14 speakers with a subwoofer that's in the rear there. And then you come to the back, plenty of room back here. Seats do recline forward, and then they pivot back and forth. ISO fixed points here on a rack system, so you go forward and backwards as well too there. Does have the rear climate control as well, which is really nice. So that's pretty good for rear passengers. So rear heated seats, which is probably good for my daughter when she sits back here. You know, something that's classic here. I'm not gonna say it's an ashtray, but it looks like an ashtray to me. I'm not really sure what this is. Maybe it is an ashtray, who knows? But I'm hoping it's not. Maybe I'm just imagining it. It does have the privacy blockers here, so that's kind of nice. And then, funny thing is, speaking of the back here, there's one of those on the back here. I'm not really sure what you would use it for, but it's there. Seats are extremely comfortable, I will say. So we're gonna go onto the driver's side now. T-Rex. I will say it is dog approved. He does enjoy driving in both vehicles, or riding, I should say. He doesn't drive. So, come up here. Ignore the lamp failure. That's just my LEDs, aftermarket LEDs. So, as you can see, you have your MMI here, which if I put a destination here, it actually comes up in here, which is kind of nice, just like the Volvo. You know, obviously an analog gauge, which I actually prefer personally, just me. I think a lot of people prefer, you know, that. So anyways, like I said, I wanted to show you this right here. So coming up to here for you guys. So there's navigation. So if I switch this to information, which is for, I guess, I don't know. I haven't quite figured out what, other than it's navigational stuff. This is your telephone system, your menu, which here you can even do, you know, go to your different settings as well if you want to do it that way. Then here's your radio, media source, tone, then your car settings, and then I kind of leave it there mostly. Does have the parking sensors, valet mode, and that turns off your, and then it has the auto mirror system. Up here is all your controls for your panoramic sunroof. So you can see it goes all the way back there. There's actually one way in the back there too. You know, it's kind of amazing. So that's kind of neat, you know, for people sitting way back there. And then, of course, it has your dual visor system. And unlike the Volvo, this one actually has a little slide out. So give you a little extra. So cool, you know, overall, I think, you know, if you're looking for a vehicle, and you can see I have, there's there. Let's see if I can zoom in for you guys. I mean, I have 146,000 plus miles on this car, and it runs perfectly fine, so don't have any issues with it. So that is the Audi. Let's go ahead and turn this off. Let's go hop into the other luxury vehicle, the Volvo, or as my friend likes to call it, the Volvo. So that is the Audi. This is, so actually I'm gonna put you guys out here because I want you to see how the suspension raises. So I'm gonna put you guys right there. And I just want you to see how it raises up almost 8 inches. Watch out, T-Rex. So this is in its maximum height right here. So as you can see, and its maximum height, I feel like it's still not as high as the Audi, surprisingly. But it did make quite a difference as far as in this spot right here. But yeah, actually if you look right here, you can definitely see, even at its maximum height, the Audi here is definitely a little higher maybe about an inch or so. But so there is the front system. Notice right away, I would say this is definitely quieter on startup, but that's what I was doing there. So hop into here. Again, I say this is fully loaded, so it does have the Bowers and Wilkins sound system, quite amazing. So here's your drive mode selector right there. Red Bulls do not come standard. Quite a bit of storage from there. Also rear climate control back here. Same thing with the glove box. It's right there. I don't know why everything's falling out of there, but there it is. So there's that. Then has carbon fiber inlays, memory seats. I don't think the Audi has a passenger memory seats, only the driver. All leather. Even this is leather up here. Leather, soft. A little more oons. So there's that. This does have the R Design race bucket seats. So personal say on this is the Audi seats are a little more comfortable, but not by much. Down here is your under control for your seat, lumbar support, and it does have the extended thigh support, which I use a little bit on my side. My wife doesn't like it personally. Come to the back here. Again, privacy blockers. So, but on the Volvo, it only has it here. Like I said, the Audi has it on the very back ones too. So that's interesting. Seats, same thing. They fold forward, backwards, and then recline as well. On a track system. Of course, I said there's your climate control there. It's all digital. They both have very similar armrests with a cup holder system. I forgot to show you guys that on the Audi. I have no idea why this is twisted like this. I've yet to figure that one out. So there's the panoramic sunroof. Like I said, the Audi has the one back here. So let me go show you guys real fast what I'm talking about with that. So as you can see, there's that extra sunroof. And then here's the, oh god. So what I say about the Audi is that their cup holder system is like all fancy schmancy like that. So, all right. There's T-Rex. Come out to the inside here. I'm going to show you the driver's situation. Okay, so not going to be complaining about first world problem here, but so you can see everything is completely digital on the Volvo, right? You can control the way it looks too, and of course, so with this, the only buttons you have are like down here for your radio system, climate. So funny thing, I notice a lot of journalists complain about, oh, I gotta press this and blah 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 whatever with the, no, you just go right here, set temperature to 18.5 degrees Celsius.
Temperature set to 18 degrees.
Close enough. Not gonna complain about that. But so my phone's connected there, and then you have your sound experience with the concert hall, which is Göteborg in Sweden, Sverige. Let's see, all your different assistants and stuff like that. Like I said, this one has the 360 cameras, so you hit that. You can choose what camera you want to look out of, which really helps with parking and stuff like that. So this is for your tow bar. If you're towing, it shows you where the actual tow is, which you can zoom into as well. And then your parking assist, cross traffic alert. That vehicle also has cross traffic alert, which is pretty cool, I think. So you park out, park in. Again, both vehicles have that. Climate system. Here you control the rear climate, parking climate. Parking climate is for when you're going to come back to the vehicle. You can set a timer, but this vehicle has the Volvo on call, so I can control it from my app. Have Sirius satellite radio, of course regular radio. Then down here I have TuneIn, Pandora, and Spotify. I mostly have been using Spotify and my Sirius XM. Car status is just basically that. It tells you if there's any problems. So it's your tire pressure monitoring, next oil change and stuff like that, and then your status for your actual oil there. Let's see what else. Travel link is pretty cool. So this is part of my Sirius XM. Sport stuff, weather. I mostly use it for the weather. I go to the map view, and then so it kind of shows me. I can zoom in on this, but it's a little like laggy-ish, or I don't know how to explain it. Like just not very capacitive per se. It's probably the first time I've seen it actually work the right way. So we got some rain coming over here. So this is pretty much what I use this for. The 5-day forecast, I don't really hold it with anything, because there's that one, and then there's actually another weather app here, and this one is just all over the place. It's like it will say one thing when it's not even doing that one thing. So, but that's the first time I've seen it be correct. But 7 days. So anyway, so there's that, and then your navigation right here. So like I said, same thing. This you can put up into here, you know, or you can have something else. I forget what else you could have there. I just don't. I use it mostly for navigation. So come up to here, get all your different settings and stuff like that for the car. You know, this is where you can control your ease of entry, which lowers the car, like the way I have it. You know, you can turn on, turn off. So, and then all your other settings as well. So I think it's a pretty decent system. You know, I mean, you get used to it really quickly. The newer Volvos, which I feel is a huge iPad Pro just kind of slapped on. It looks really retarded. I feel like this is actually a better integration system. And again, like I said, the Audi I feel like is even better with all the buttons, because you can be just driving, just kind of get used to like tapping. So obviously the mirror is frameless or rimless, what you want to call it. Again, like I was saying, this doesn't have the slide out here, but it does have a nice little mini mirror. So that's pretty much it for this car, if you ask me, of the important stuff. All right, so we're gonna do a quick drive. We don't know how else it's gonna work, because I don't have anyone to hold the camera for me, but I will take you guys on a quick drive just to kind of, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it's just, there's a difference. And you know, I feel like even if I show you guys driving, it's not gonna be much information for you guys, but we'll go ahead and do it. Funny thing is, the Volvo is still in off-road mode. I forgot to turn it off. T-Rex, you want to go for a car ride? Come on, let's go for a ride. There you go. Come back over here. Okay. So, this may or may not work. Don't hate me if it doesn't. Gotta find the keys now. Oh no, where are the keys? Aha, that's the wrong keys, that's the wrong keys. Oh, there's the Audi. Oh, you did. Oh, did. So I always do this, and let it do that, because that is the fuel pump is priming, and then turn it on. So you notice it makes a difference in the way it starts. Again, like I said, it's just the, that's the fog light. That's because of the LEDs because the halogens are just crap that it comes with. I don't understand why it came with halogen in an HID system. And I will say the HIDs are not that great either on this car. But I did upgrade the HIDs to, what do you call it, 8000K, which is overkill. I mean, really I only needed 4500, I just like the blue. So as you can see, my driveway is pretty intense. And the Audi just kind of, you know, plows right through it, no problem. So, and I'm going to go this way. So the road is quite well plowed. So this is not going to show you guys too much. I more just want to show you guys the way the Nokian Hakkapelittas work compared to the Nexen Winguard wind spikes. But again, two different cars, two different systems. So you can see I just cruise perfectly along, and then like stopping, like I want to say aggressively, but pretty aggressively. No drama, you know. yeah, that's about it for that. I was hoping there'd be more snow today, but it's supposed to not actually rain now. So, and then you can see we have quite a bit of snow. If you guys can see that or not. All right, we'll keep going here. Then we'll turn around. But yeah, you can see nice and smooth. I mean, for a car of 146,000 plus, almost 147,000 miles on it. I mean, it's just a fantastic car, very smooth. I only paid a little over, no, I paid right under 7,000 for this car, but had to spend a little more money, a couple grand on a couple things that, one, I shouldn't have done at the dealership, and two, was kind of overkill, didn't really need it per se. But preventive maintenance is the best maintenance. So, yep, so we go ahead and turn around right here. Hopefully I don't take off the neighbors. Get out of my driveway. Look at this. So there is the backup camera, which is completely dirty right now. Oh, hit the mailbox. So that's one thing I will say compared. The Volvo has a better turning radius. The Audi does not turn as well. Here comes a mail carrier. Alright. Vermont life. Gotta love it up here. So I hope this guys kind of helps you if you're deciding between an Audi Q7 and a Volvo XC90, and I guess even like a BMW X7. And what's the other one? Mercedes GLC, I think, or GLE. Is that what that you compare? I'm not really familiar with the Mercedes Glendale wagons. There's a G wagon, which is a totally different vehicle, but all the GLS, GLC, and GLE, they all stand for the Glendale. You know, they're all part of the Glendale family of estates, which, even though technically they're not estates, they're SUVs. And of course, that being said, I don't think any cars nowadays is really an SUV. I mean, maybe the Toyota 4Runner, but you know, those things are crap now. They totally ruined that car. But all right, let's get back in here. Switch cars real fast for you guys. So, you can see quite smooth, quiet. You know, I mean, I don't have any complaints. I mean, and like I said, I got this car by chance, and you know, hey, it is what it is. So, maybe plow this driveway more. That's what the Audi's for. Plowed. Oh goodness. Rip off my bumper, jeez. Let's go back here. I'm gonna park it here for now. Actually, I'm gonna pull back up. This car does not turn too well. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. That's it. There we go. There we go, perfect. And just like that, we're back. So there's that. Let's hop into the Volvo real fast for you guys. I know it's just like one long continuous video, but come on, T-Rex. Come on. Come on. Here, T-Rex. Come on, hop in. He's like, screw that, I'm done. I want to go for any more car rides. I'm done with car rides. Oh, now the air suspension goes down. Come on, hop in. Hop in. Get in. Go on. There we go. So you can see it's lowering right now. Front, back, then it's gonna come right back up when I get in. I actually wanted to show you guys that anyways. Are we good? We're good. Yeah. Slammed. We rolled in dirty up in here. It's a nice little start there. Difference obviously you know, keyless. That kind of makes a huge difference. One thing I like about the Volvo, it doesn't yell at you for not wearing your bloody seatbelt. It's like, fine, you don't want to wear your seatbelt? That's on you, weirdo. So, even though Volvos are known for safety, oh no, I'm gonna run over the snow. Oh, there's no rocks in there. Remember, I'm not in the off-road mode now, I'm just in standard comfort mode. So, oh goodness, no. So again, not a huge difference. That's what I was showing you about the infotainment there. We'll just do the same thing. We'll go out this way. So again, very quiet, very smooth car. You know, I think, you know, if you're gonna buy either of these two cars, you know, it's just gonna come down to, and they're both priced similar. So that's the interesting thing. Other than these two cars, my 2013, again, like I said, I only paid $6,900 out the door for it. This car I paid $2,200, so or $22,000 to say out the door. That was it. That's all I paid for this. But I mean, even that, this was originally an $80,000 car, you know, and I bought it with like 80,000 miles on it. You can see I already put quite a bit of miles on this car. I've had it not even a whole year, and I've put 40,000 miles on it. So, yeah, I drive a lot. What can I say? Oh, we'll stop. There we go. Oons, oons. Ah, you see, I like the oons. But again, smooth car, drives really well. Sound system's really good in both cars. I will say this, the Volvo has the edge with the Bowers and Wilkins. Granted, you're also talking about a 2,000 watt sound system compared to a 600 watt sound system in the other car. So we're gonna brake real hard. Ah, you see that? The ABS on this one kicked in compared to the Audi. And again, that's what I was saying about the Nokian Hakkapelittas. I feel like the Hakkapelittas definitely have more grip than these Nexen Winguards. Granted, you're talking about a $300 tire compared to a $150 tire. So there's that. Like I said too, they're the same size tire, but it's interesting in the grip factor. And again, like I said, I don't know if that comes down to the Quattro, but obviously stopping wouldn't. Stopping comes down to the tires. So yeah, I think the Nokians have the quite a big advantage over the Nexen Winguards. Do I still feel safe when driving the Nexen Winguards? Yes. Would I rather have the Nokians on this car? Absolutely. So, anyways, but that is it for us. T-Rex and I are gonna go play now in the snow, and I hope that helps you guys decide between two vehicles. You have more questions, you want more information. It's kind of hard to like really do these reviews like that and keep it under a half hour, 40 minutes, because there's a lot of information on these cars. I mean, and I give it to those the journalists that this is what they do for a living, but I figured from someone who's owned these cars for quite a while now, this shows you, you know, hey, what I prefer to drive on a daily basis and stuff like that. And honestly, it just comes down to how I feel that day. If I want to be very relaxed and just let the car do the driving, I drive the Volvo because it has the autonomous driving. If I want to kind of feel like I'm Mario Andretti, that's an old F1 racer. For people that don't know, I drive the Audi. You know, the Audi does have a different feel to it, but overall, I think they're both fantastic vehicles. So, okay, oh goodness. All right, hopefully I don't get stuck. All right, and that is it for you.